Our daily routines, waking up, making breakfast, heading out the door, they all seem so ordinary. But what if I told you that when you add all those little actions up from everyone, they have this massive collective impact on our planet? The great news is that small, simple tweaks to those everyday habits can create some seriously meaningful benefits for the environment. Okay, let's get into it. So, that's the big question, right? Do the tiny choices we make every single day actually matter in the grand scheme of things? It's so easy to feel like they don't. But the answer is, oh, absolutely they do. And the proof starts with something we all do every day. We throw things away. Just look at this number, 50%. That's how much of the waste coming from our homes is actually organic stuff. Fruit peels, coffee grounds, old leftovers. And you might think, well, it just breaks down in a landfill, no big deal. But it doesn't, not really. Instead, it releases methane, which is a really potent greenhouse gas. So what if we could stop that waste from ever getting to the landfill in the first place? So let's start right at the beginning of the day. We're going to walk through a few super practical, easy to follow habits that can make your morning routine a whole lot more sustainable. And it all starts from the moment you get out of bed. First up, water. You know that tiny, annoying drip, drip, drip from a faucet? Well, it's not so tiny when you add it up over a whole year. It's actually a massive deal. With fresh water becoming more and more precious, literally every single drop we save is critical. It's a perfect example of how a problem that seems small can have a huge, wasteful impact. The good news is fighting back is so simple. Try cutting your shower time by just a minute or two. And come on, we all know this one. Turn off the tap while you're brushing your teeth. That habit alone saves gallons. And if you want a bigger impact, installing a low-flow shower head is a super quick fix that starts paying off immediately. Hey, remember that 50% from a minute ago? Well, here's the solution: composting. I know, it might sound complicated, but it's not. It's basically just nature's own recycling program. Instead of sending all your kitchen scraps to the landfill, you can turn them into this incredible, nutrient-rich food for your garden or even your houseplants. Okay, so as you're packing your lunch or maybe grabbing a coffee, you're faced with another big choice: single-use plastics. They're everywhere. We use them for a few convenient minutes, but then they stick around in our environment for hundreds of years, polluting our oceans and our land. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. The best way to fight back is to build your own personal toolkit for when you're on the go. Keep a reusable bag in your car or backpack. Always carry a water bottle. Pack your lunch in reusable containers. These simple swaps become second nature after a while, and they dramatically reduce your plastic footprint. All right, now you're out the door. The middle of your day is just filled with choices, right? From how you get around to what you decide to buy. This is where we can really start to practice making more conscious, mindful decisions. How we get from point A to point B is a huge piece of the sustainability puzzle. Cars, as we know, are a major source of air pollution. But look at the alternatives. For those shorter trips, walking or cycling isn't just better for the planet, it's way better for you, too. And for longer commutes, every single person who hops on public transport or carpools helps take another car off the road. While you're out and about, you are constantly hit with the temptation to buy stuff. This is where one of the most powerful sustainable habits comes into play. And guess what? It costs absolutely nothing. All you have to do is pause. In a world that's always screaming buy more, the most radical act can be to just stop and ask a few simple questions. So what are the questions? First, do I truly need this, or is it just an impulse buy? Next, could I maybe repair something I already have instead of buying a new one? And finally, is this thing durable? Is it well made? Is it built to last? Just thinking this way helps us avoid buying a bunch of stuff that's going to end up in a landfill way too soon. And honestly, this gets right to the heart of it. Sometimes the most powerful action is inaction. Simply saying no thank you to a plastic bag you don't need, or a disposable straw, or some freebie you know you'll never use, it's like a small act of rebellion against our throwaway culture. Okay, let's head back home for the evening. Our home base is where we can make a huge difference in our energy use, our food choices, and how we handle waste at the end of the day. Let's talk about the hidden energy drains in our homes. Just check out the difference here. Switching to LED bulbs can slash the energy you use for lighting by up to 80%. That's huge. And then there's what some people call vampire power. All that energy our devices suck up even when they're turned off. Unplugging them is really the only way to stop it. And you know what? There are even simpler habits. Washing your clothes in cold water is just as effective for most things, and it saves a ton of energy that would have been used to heat the water. Air drying your laundry whenever you can is a fantastic, totally free alternative, and just opening your curtains to use natural daylight. It's a no-brainer. What we choose to eat has a massive footprint. So, to make your plate a little more sustainable, you can focus on these 3 areas. First, buying local and seasonal food cuts down on transport emissions. Second, adding more plant-based meals into your routine is one of the most impactful changes you can make. And finally, and this is a big one, avoiding food waste by planning meals and loving your leftovers saves resources and money. This all comes down to changing how we look at trash. Before you toss something in the bin, just pause for a second. Ask yourself, what else could this be? What potential does this thing still have? Take a simple empty glass jar, for instance. Instead of being trash, it can be reborn. It's perfect for storing spices or snacks, organizing little things on your desk, or you could even turn it into some cool DIY home decor. It's really all about creativity. And the ideas are just endless. Old clothes that are too worn out to donate, they can become amazing cleaning rags. Or you could cut them up to make tote bags. Upcycling isn't just about saving waste. It's a really fun way to reduce the need to go out and buy new things all the time. So let's bring this all together. The real power here isn't in doing one of these things one time. No, the magic is in the consistency. It's about how these small daily actions start to compound over weeks and months and years to create a massive positive impact. And this is so important to remember. Nobody is asking you to be perfect overnight. This is not an all or nothing game. It's a journey. And what's the most important part of any journey? Just taking that first step. The key is to simply start. I think this quote just sums it all up so beautifully. It's the consistency that really matters. Choosing one habit, really making it part of your life, and then when you're ready, adding another. Over time, those tiny, consistent actions build a greener, cleaner future for all of us. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Looking at all of these simple ideas we've talked about, what is the one habit that really speaks to you? The one thing you can actually commit to starting tomorrow? Because that one small step, that's how real change begins.